Hi, I'm Jay Seville, the leader of the JustNewListings.com team here in Wilmington, North Carolina. And JustNewListings.com happens to be my brokerage in Northern Virginia and Washington, D.C. It includes those MLS markets. It also includes the Charleston, South Carolina market and South Beach, Miami market. So it's sort of a national vision. But for those of you interested locally into the coastal area of Wilmington, North Carolina real estate, then my other website, and I'm going to go over some of the details with you, is wilmington-real-estate.com. That's wilmingtonrealestate.com. And it has all the details you need to succeed in our local real estate market. So the subject of this piece or production is Oceanfront Homes for Sale in Wilmington, North Carolina. And you're probably thinking, well, Wilmington, North Carolina is not necessarily on the ocean, so why would we call it that? Well, if you're living in New York, New Jersey, where so many of my clients come from out of town, or Ohio, you look on Google Maps here, take a look at this, and you're tired of being cold and in dark weather 5 months a year, and you say to yourself, geez, I work from home or I'm retiring. Why don't we move to the beach? I mean, come on. So you look on your Google Maps and you look down here and you're like, okay, where should we move? And literally this plays out this way sometimes. And you see this little town here, Wilmington, and you're like, okay, that's the beach. And then from there you Google Oceanfront Homes for Sale in Wilmington, North Carolina. Of course, when you pan in a little bit closer, you realize, well, even from here, we've gone way in, and it still makes it look like this is where your oceanfront homes are, Wilmington, North Carolina. But if you go in closer, finally, you start to see the real deal. We have, and let me make a bigger point, we have here 3 main beaches that we work with, okay? Yeah, great, I overdid it. You have Wrightsville Beach, and you have over here Carolina Beach, and down here is Kure Beach, or if you want, Kure Beach. And those are the 3 main beaches here. On the outside up here you have North Topsail, or Topsail, excuse me, Oak Island, and then heading down into South Carolina you have some other beaches on the way. But 3 primary are Wrightsville, Carolina, and Kure Beaches. There's one part of Wilmington which does count as oceanfront property, and that's Figure 8 Island. And to get in there, you're going to have to be invited because it's a gated community, and really, unless you're supposed to be there, you're not likely to get in. But let's show you the coastline here real quick with a satellite map view. There you go, Figure 8 Island, and then scooting back to Wrightsville Beach right here. And I have a neat aerial shot of Wrightsville Beach because I wanted people to know, well, how many homes are for sale in Wrightsville Beach. So over here is the WilmingtonRealEstate.com website, okay? And if you scroll down to some of the blog topics like Landfall Homes for Sale or Wrightsville Beach condos and real estate, click on that tag, and I've got a great aerial shot for you down here. Well, let me extend this video a little bit. I'll show you 2 shots. One, I call this in one photo, why you should move to Wrightsville Beach. And it sort of epitomizes what an excellent beach this is. It's a very deep beach, deeper, much deeper, I would say 3 times or even 5 times deeper than Carolina or Kure Beach. And often, I mean, you get it all to yourself. It's amazing. It's not nearly as touristy as the other beaches, and it's a special beach, that's for sure. Perhaps one of the premier beaches of the entire country, that's what I'll say. And I'm trying to remember where I was going with this. If you're curious how many homes are on Wrightsville Beach, that's what we're going to look at, and we're also going to look at as where you're going to be able to buy an oceanfront property, because it's not necessarily where you think. Here we go, pure oceanfront homes on Wrightsville Beach. This picture I pulled a while ago, so I counted them up. From the top to the bottom, there's very nearly 150 pure oceanfront homes on Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, for what it's worth. So when you're moving down here and you want to start searching for an oceanfront home, well, here, let's click here, Ocean View. You're going to find yourself, for the most part, your oceanfront property is not going to be found in Wilmington. It's going to be found in Wrightsville Beach, Carolina Beach, or Kure Beach. That's the main point that I'm sharing with the out-of-towners with this video. And here I pulled up all the oceanfront homes sold last year, and they're broken down by city. Here's Carolina Beach. There were 6 homes sold there. Then there's Kure, and then in Wilmington, because of Figure 8 Island, you had 9 homes that sold. But generally there, the homes are mostly 2 million plus, although they do go down to about 1 million. And then Wrightsville Beach. And again, most Wrightsville Beach homes are about 1.3 million plus. If you want to save a little money, Kure Beach is where it's at. You can get oceanfront homes there for $700,000 and up. Generally though, they're usually at least $900,000. And then Carolina Beach, you do get oceanfront homes, you know, as low as the 500s and up. That's my main point, is that if you're looking for beach homes, you can't just search Wilmington. You have to include these other beaches in your search. And the most expensive, exclusive beach will be Figure 8 Island, which is technically part of Wilmington, North Carolina. So, but it's hard to think of it that way because it is so on its own out there on the north side. If you have any more questions, contact me and I'm happy to show you homes in a very hands-off way. For any home that you find interesting, I will run the numbers and tell you what the lowest offer you can make on the home and likely still get a counter offer. And one of the ways that I get the best prices for homes, because really there's a lot more money to save negotiating on the upper end of real estate than there is on the lower end. And here's an example, a home I just recently negotiated in Landfall. And so I made a sort of a video about that, or I included a link to it. And what I found is one of the best ways to get the lowest price is to gain access directly to the seller and explain to them why they need to work with us. Because otherwise in 3 months they're going to get the same offer anyway. They might as well deal with reality now and work with us, and because a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the air. So this is what I call video email, and I send it to people, and it lets me talk directly to the seller 90% of the time. And it just makes a huge difference. Hi Marty, it's Jay with Wilmington Real Estate for You. Thanks for letting us get in your home on such a short notice the other day. So I'm just going to stop the video. If you want to know sort of how I work it, I sort of have a template for negotiating and starting off with people. It involves praising the agent and building up the agent to their seller, and they want their seller to hear that message, and then going over some of the great things about the home that impressed us. And then finally at the end, well, next to the end, bringing up concerns we have and going over the numbers with the seller, and then sort of bringing them down to reality of why they need to not only give us a counter offer, but give us a counter offer that's serious that we can work with. All right, I got interrupted by a phone call, so if this is a little choppy, I apologize. Right here, I just went to the Ocean View tab and clicked on Kure Beach. And as you can see, as we scroll down here, right now there are 63 listings for Kure Beach. Now, are all of those houses? Of course not. Mostly you have, they are listed as houses in the MLS, which is not cool ethically if you ask me. But they include townhouses and condos, and sometimes the condos look like townhouses next to each other, just 2 residences in one building. And they go, you know, down here you have one for $650,000, and scooting on up, you get to 1.5 million. That's usually about as high as it goes on the Kure. And of course, you can click on any price range here, or you can look at it on a map. You know, lots of options here when you use the Oceanfront MLS tool for North Carolina. So there you go. Talk to you soon. If you have any interest in this niche, I encourage you to give me a call. Also, if you're wanting a waterfront home for sale, well then perhaps you should consider being on a creek front property or the ICW, the Intercoastal Waterway, because there you can sort of shave off 40% of the cost and still have a drop-dead gorgeous view. For example, here's the creek front homes page. And I'm just going to show you one picture real quick. Okay, right here, this is Pages Creek. It's on the north side of Wilmington, North Carolina. And as you can see, that's an impressive view. And there's a lot of homes with those impressive views. And instead of costing $1.5 million, they cost $800,000. So it's something to consider. Talk to you soon.